Good morning, Manteji.
Friends, today I'm going to start this Dhamma discussion. Even though very few people join at this time, it doesn't matter. Even if one person can understand the teachings of the Buddha, it is good for himself. Therefore, I'm talking about the teachings of the Buddha. Before I start that, I would like to talk about the special of this week. I know everybody of you know about Buddha's birthday, Buddha's passing away, and enlightenment. In our country, as Sri Lanka, we celebrate this month as a Buddha's birthday, Buddha's birth month, and enlightenment and the passing away. So in the country, especially on this full moon day, they will start these celebrations. It is not only celebration, people observe precepts, especially 8 precepts and 10 precepts. They observe in the temple and stay whole day in the temple, and they do so many meritorious activities within the day. Sometimes some people stay 2-3 days in the temple. Therefore, it's a whole time we think about the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. They start meditation, Dhamma discussion, and some kind of offerings to the Buddha. These are the things that happen on this full moon day in our country, in Sri Lanka. And not only our country, but some other countries like Cambodia, Laos, Thai, these countries, or Burma, these countries also celebrate the Buddha's birthday in this month. Therefore, this month is very important to the Buddhist people. They think this is the good time to think about the Buddha, think about the great qualities of the Buddha, and think about the great qualities of the Dhamma and great qualities of the Sangha. When people come to the temple, they observe precepts, and they start the day thinking about this triple gem. It means we need to think about the triple gem by meditating. Without meditating, we cannot think about these 3 things. Why we think about these 3 things? From the Buddha's time, people always needed their good health and happy life. And the main goal is Soan, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arhat. Whenever we got time to meditate, we start our meditation in order to reach enlightenment or reach to Nibbana. It depends on our merits. We don't know how much merit we have accumulated, but we know we came from previous lives, and we don't know whether we did good things in our previous life or bad things. Therefore, according to this karma, we call it karma, we have to face this life. Sometimes we have to face good things, sometimes bad things, because if we have done good things in our previous lives, we have happy life here. And if we have done bad things in our previous lives, we have to face bad actions. It is sometimes difficult for us. Therefore, Buddha recommended us, if you have time, please do whatever meritorious activities using your mouth, body, or mind. Therefore, especially on full moon days, people gather to the temple and they start meditation to keep control their mind or to keep mindfulness. That's why I want to explain here about this week. Within few days, the full moon day coming. This full moon day, we believe this is the one Buddha's birthday, enlightenment, and passing away day. Anyway, every other day is also very important to us because Buddha explained you need to think about your life. How do you want to end this life? Without doing meritorious activities and without doing meditation, you cannot end this life. We are born again and again and continuously be existing in this life cycle. Therefore, today also very good time for this because one word enough to change our life. At the Buddha's time, there are so many people heard about the teachings of the Buddha, but most of the people could not understand the teachings of the Buddha. But among the most people, even few people could understand the teachings of the Buddha, and they found the real teachings of the Buddha and what is enlightenment, and they reached to enlightenment. Therefore, today also, it doesn't matter how many people join to this Dhamma talk and Dhamma discussion. If you can even understand one word, it is benefit for you. So today I would like to explain one word. It is heedfulness or effort or diligent. This is very important word for us. This is not talking about our day-to-day life, but Buddha explained in different sutras how do you want to live and how do you want to reach Nibbana. Most of the time, Buddha's main idea was to become a spiritual person and reach to Nibbana. That's why Buddha always explain about our life and how to overcome these troubles and problems. Today, Buddha explained a stanza. The stanza is Pamadang appamadena yata nodati pandito panya pasada maruya asokoso kining pajang abbatattova bummatte dhiro bhale avekkati. As you know, this is a Pali stanza. Pamadang appamadena. The wise one dispels negligence by means of mindfulness. Yada nudati pandito. He ascends the tower of wisdom. Panya pasada maruya. And being free from sorrow, asukoso kining pajang looks at the serving beings. Tabba tattova bummatte. Just as one on the mountain top, dhiro bhale avikkati, looks at those on the plain below. So also the wise one, the arahant, looks at the ignorant. This is very important teachings of the Buddha. He explains here the one who can dispel negligence, he will understand the teachings of the Buddha. How he understands the teachings of the Buddha? By cleaning his mind. Without mindfulness, nobody can reach to the goal of the Buddha. You know what is mindfulness? There are 4 foundations of mindfulness. We call Satara Satipatthana, thinking about the body, thinking about the feelings, thinking about the mind, and thinking about the teachings of the Buddha. When someone meditating on these 4 things, he will understand the real teachings of the Buddha. Therefore, if you can, even few minutes thinking about your body, feeling, mind, and the teachings, it will helpful for your spiritual life. I know sometimes these words are difficult for you. Sometimes you cannot understand now where I am. But when you reading, when you listening, when you think about these things step by step, you will understand the real teachings of the Buddha. Because the Tripitaka explain always different kind of sutras. If you have time, when you read these sutras, you cannot directly understand what Buddha explained in these sutras because they are collection. There are a lot of sutras. Sometimes they come together. We need to understand together. If you read one sutra, it is not enough for understand the teachings of the Buddha because one sutra explain only one thing sometimes. Therefore, today also I'm talking about sometimes it could be mindfulness, sometimes it could be effortness, sometimes it could be diligent. So one of these words explained here. Now you know about mindfulness. To gain mindfulness, you need effort. You need to overcome negligence. Without dispelling these things, you never come to mindfulness. Why we need mindfulness? You know, without mindfulness, you cannot do your day-to-day work. You have a lot of works from the beginning, early in the morning. You need to wake up happily. You cannot wake up happily if you don't have mindfulness. And other works, whole day works, you need to do mindfully. So that's why we need to talk about mindfulness. We cannot explain everything here today at this moment, but step by step you can understand, you can realize it. Therefore, one thing I want to explain. This is about Arahant. Arahant means one of the great Arahants. We call him Mahakassapa Thera. In the Buddha's time, there was a Arahant called Mahakassapa Thera. He was very famous monk. According to the text, it explains this Mahakassapa Thera and the Buddha are same, bodily same. Most people sometimes confused whether this Buddha or Venerable Mahakassapa. Because of this situation, Venerable Mahakassapa Thero decided not to stay around the Buddha, and he went to the jungle and stayed his whole life in the jungle. He thought one day when the Buddha passing away, at that day I will come back to the city or come back to the Buddha. Because most people got problems because of this situation. The Mahakassapa Thera and the Buddha are same appearance. Therefore, this Mahakassapa Thera, I'm talking about the Mahakassapa Thera because he's very famous in the Bojjhanga Sutra also. And sometimes you may heard about the Bojjhanga Sutra. In the Bojjhanga Sutra, it explained about seven enlightenment factors. These seven enlightenment factors are very important to practice meditation. Sati Bojjhanga, Dhammavicaya, Viriya, Piti, Passaddhi, Samadhi, Upekha. These seven factors helpful to become enlightenment. And not only that, there are some other enlightenment factors, but in this sutra, these seven factors explained by the Buddha. Especially, there is a sutra called Mahakassapa Sutra or Mahakassapatera Bhujjanga Sutra. In this sutra, it explained that Venerable Mahakassapatera got sick. Because of his sickness, Buddha came to see this Mahakassapatera and taught him about these seven enlightenment factors. Buddha explained, Venerable Mahakassapa, please reflect these seven factors, then you will become a sickless person. It is one other story about the Mahakassapatera, and another time, Venerable Mahakassapatera wanted to find out by using his supernatural vision beings who were mindful and beings who were negligent. It is a very difficult task because even Buddha can think about others' mind, but others cannot do that. Not only that, Venerable Mahakassapatera wanted to know about those who were about to die and those who were about to reborn. These two also very confusing. When someone going to die, Venerable Mahakassapatera wanted to know where he born after this life. This is the situation. So Venerable Mahakassapatera try to see others' mind, or we can say vijnana, but it is not a good thinking of at this time. So Buddha saw this situation and he spread his power or his radiance to the Venerable Mahakassapatera and spoke to him or exhorted him, Venerable Mahakassapa, this is not a good thinking. You cannot do this thing. This is endless. You try to overreach yourself. Therefore, please do not this. Only Buddhas can think about others die or reborn. This is very important advice to him. And Venerable Mahakassapatera stopped doing such thing, and Buddha explained, why do you want to know about these things? And then Buddha explained everything to the other arahants and the Venerable Mahakassapa Thero. If someone going to die, we cannot understand what is his next life and what kind of person going to be. Sometimes he may be a human, sometimes animal, bird, any other creature. Therefore, it is very, very difficult task to do such a Kassapa. It is wasting time. Buddha explained here about the wasting time. Venerable Mahakassapa, don't waste your important time on such endless things. Therefore, try to do mindful and think about these four kinds of mindfulness and try to overcome negligence. Try or effort to do meditate. Then you will reach to Nirvana. This advice good for every one of us. This is the short teachings of the Buddha. I think this small advice to the Venerable Mahakassapa, not only for him, this is good advice for us too. Sometimes we try to do so many things. We don't know what is the end, but we try to do. Therefore, Buddha explained here, this is wasting your time on some useless things. Useless things means not normal day-to-day life work, but some other things like the things that do the Aditya Mahakassapa. Therefore, I think today this short explanation about effortness, negligent, avoid negligent or diligent or heedfulness. These things we need to practice. Without these things, we cannot success our life. I know most people in this world, they succeeded their life by using these methods, even though they don't know these words, but they have practiced the same way. I think everybody of you also need to think about effort, mindfulness, dispel negligence and diligence, and finally you will reach to clear teaching, the path of the Buddha. Now I'm going to stop here, and if you have any questions about these small teachings, you may ask some questions. I will give you kind of answers.